there is a Miss Patton's fourth grade class who's watching us all the way from Missouri, and and they're learning about lions this week, so let's chat very briefly a little bit about them. And VM, shall I give you a little bit more light? Yeah. Let's illuminate the situation a little bit. Sorry, boy, I'll take that out of your face. That's better. He keeps looking off at the back, and I promise I'm going to explain a bit more about lions in a moment. I think he's just being silly because the wind is blowing. So at the moment, there's a bit of confusion about the various lion prides in the area. Typically, the ones that we have mainly seen in the past are the Nkahuma pride and the Styx pride, and they were dominated by the two Matimba males. And the two Matimbas were then pushed out by the 5 Birmingham boys, who are now the ones sitting at Arathusa Dam at the moment. Let me just see what that female's looking at. I can't see anything. I need to distract whatever it is. She's not too intent about it, so it's definitely not a leopard. She's just looking off in that direction every now and again. She might have decided to move away. And then we have this Tsalala pride that we're sitting with, and as I mentioned before, they've moved up from the south. And there's a couple of overlaps between the various prides. There's a Talamati off in the east, there's the Salati males in the north around Buffelshoek. And essentially the way that lions work, imagine the males have these really big territories that they patrol and they guard, and they keep other males out of adult age. And then within that they have not one pride but several. So it can be 2, it can be 3, it can even be 4, depending on the way that the males are functioning. And what the males will do is they will rotate between the prides and alternate between doing that and going and marking their territory somewhere. And they're very, very strict about keeping other males away. Then the females, they are the guards of the genetic line. So they pretty much stick in one place for their entire lives. And if a female is born into a pride, she will always be with them unless there is some kind of event that causes them to split. And they stick in much the same home range, and it can be fairly big. I'm talking easily a couple of square kilometers or more. And what they'll do is they will move around through those home ranges, and as I said earlier, it's not like a jigsaw puzzle. It's not strict boundaries. It's more like a flexible, fluid territory depending on where the other pride is. But for the most part, they stay out of each other's way. He's also been scratched up a little bit. But lion behavior is fairly complex. Apparently the Birmingham boys are on the move and moving south. I assume that means towards Arathusa. Djuma is to the northeast of where that dam is. But I know that a lot of people are passing on that message to us. Now, as I said, there are a couple of vehicles that are making their way into that sighting. So by the time we get to it being our turn, we are going to possibly be at the end of our sunset safari. But thank you for keeping us updated, and I would not be surprised at all if by tomorrow the Birminghams have come through and have settled around Djuma, or possibly even moved through, but hopefully settled. So we might be listening out for some sounds of them calling in the night. And I think that it would be very wise for this pride to stay well out of their way. I'm happy to hear they're moving south. It means they're moving away. We are north of the dam, so we're about 2.5 kilometers north of where they are. much better place for these lions to be, and a better direction for the Birmingham boys to be moving in. But what an absolutely incredible time we've had. Now, it very often is these young males that are following a sort of a learning curve, and they initiate things like chasing leopards, and I've seen young males try to hunt rhino before. A lot of it is play and practice.